Good day. Once again, this is Maria Concepcion Balsita Mendoza, a faculty member of the College of Computer Science, Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, South La Union Campus, Agoo, La Union. And now, we have an example of getting input from user, specifically on Java programming using the scanner class. So this would be the problem. So create a program that inputs from the user the radius of a circle and prints the circle's diameter, area, and circumference. So we take note that the value of pi is 3.14159. So we will use the following formula where r is equal to the radius. So in diameter, the formula is 2r, or we have 2 times the radius. Next, the area. Area is equal to pi r squared. So we will multiply the radius twice and then we will multiply it to the value of pi. And for the circumference, we have 2 pi r, meaning multiplied 2 times the value of pi and the value of the radius. So now, let's start with the coding demonstration. So in this example, we are going to use the scanner class. Therefore, the package that we are going to use is the java.util package. So in order to do so, we have the presence of the keyword import and then we have java.util. We are going to use the dot asterisk, meaning we are going to access all the files and classes under the java.util package, and one of that is the scanner class. Next is the class declaration. So we have the presence of the access modifier or access specifier public, the keyword class, and the name of the class. As you have noticed, in the file name that has been created, the name of the file is circle. Therefore, our class name also should be circle, following the same format. After that is the declaration of the main method. Next is the declaration of the scanner. So the keywords scanner followed by its reference. Say for instance, we are going to use the reference scan is equal to new scanner system.in. So now let's start with the variable declaration. If we will notice on the following problem, we have to start first with our input. So the input here is the radius. In declaring for such variable, it should compose of a data type and the variable. If we will notice on the value of pi, the value is 3.14159. That is not a whole number or that is not an integer, meaning we are going to use the double. In order for us not to have a runtime error in the program, it is better to use the data type double. So we'll start with the radius. We will use the data type double and the variable radius, simply the word radius. Next, let's have the variable declaration of our formula. We have the diameter, the area, and the circumference. So as mentioned earlier, we will use the data type double. Also, we will declare for the value of pi, which is 3.14159. In Java program, the symbol of pi is not accepted. So we will just initialize for the value of pi. So we have double. We'll just use the word pi. Actually, there is a shortcut in declaring for pi, that is math.py. But that would be discussed later on when we move on to the math.class or math class method. So now we are through declaring for the different variables needed in the program. Now let's proceed with the input statements. So in doing such input statements, we should have to display first a certain label. So we have to display first by using system.out.print enter ranges. This will be displayed first, and after that, the user now can input for the ranges. So now let's have the input statement for the value of ranges. For the value of ranges, it will be stored in the variable being declared, and that is ranges. So we have ranges is equal to, since this is a scanner, so our input statement is scan.next double. We use next double because the data type of our ranges is double. The reference scan is from the scanner class. Next, let's have the process wherein the formula or the computation will be coded here. So it is already reflected in the problem the different formulas needed. And at the same time, it has been declared already. So we'll start with the diameter. As for the diameter, the formula is 2 times the value of r, which is the radius. We are not going to use the variable r because in the following program, we didn't use any variable which is r, but rather we use the variable radius. So we have 2 times radius. Next, let's have the computation or the formula for area. As for the area, we have the value of pi, which is 3.14159, and we will use the variable pi or pi. We will multiply it to r squared, meaning we will multiply the radius twice. So, radius times radius. Next, let's have the circumference. For the circumference, we have 2 multiplied by pi, represented by the variable pi, and r, represented by the variable radius. And now, let's proceed with our output. So this is our input, the radius, the process wherein we have the following formula, and finally, we are going to display our output, such as the diameter, area, and circumference. So we will use the code or the keywords system.out.println. We'll label it first in order for the user to know, and we will append the variables by using the plus symbol. So with this, we will append for the value of diameter. Next, let's have the area. And finally, we have the circumference. Okay. And we are now through with our coding demonstration. Now, let's have the compilation of our output. So in order to do that, we'll go to Run, then click on Run File, or by just pressing in the keyboard Shift F6. So we have here in the output view, the user is prompted to enter for the radius. So for example, we will input 5. So the value of 5 will now be stored in the value radius. And that's it. It has been already computed for the value of diameter, which is 10, the value of area, which is 78.53975, and the circumference, which is 31.4159. So that's all for today for an example program using scanner class. Thank you and have a good day to everyone.